Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Monica from 7 Figure Staffing, and today I am excited, honored, and thrilled to be sitting and sharing with you my top 8 strategies for knowing and identifying your ideal audience and client for business development. Whether you're just starting out or you're looking to refine your existing approach and your existing list, hopefully these tips will help you target the right people, the right companies, optimize your efforts, and drive your business forward, which is what we're always about here at SFS. So welcome, and let's dive in. Before we dive in, I really wanted to start off with a little bit of a story time, and it was to tell you guys that my husband sat me down and he said, "Monica, when are you going to record your first video for our YouTube channel?" And truth be told, I have been dragging my feet with good reason. I think that I had poised a lot of undue pressure on myself when it came to this first video because I wanted it to be some foundational knowledge. I wanted it to be something that was going to be extremely useful and beneficial for you. And it got me thinking about some of the conversations that we have with our clients when we're first starting out from ground zero. And it's essentially that, we have our big welcome party and we celebrate their endeavors towards starting and growing their own agency. But essentially what we'll do is sit down and ask them, so what industry are you interested in? And we often, I would say 9 times out of 10, get these broad responses. And there's nothing wrong, but we'll get these very general and broad responses like, I've always considered healthcare. Now, healthcare is a very vast field. To me, it's like saying everything but the kitchen sink because it encompasses so many different areas and so many different specialties. Foundationally, when we're working with our clients one-to-one in person, one of the first things we like to do is hone in. We like to identify and funnel what your true scope is going to be. That would be a great topic for us to discuss here today, which is just going through some of the activities to understand not only the specific areas that you excel in, but also the type of clients who are going to most benefit from the services that you're going to be providing. As a first activity, I would ask you, where are your strengths? And how do they align with the current market needs? If you tell me that you're specialized in tech is a massive field. And under that umbrella, there are countless subcategories. So I would ask you, are you focusing in on software development? Are we going to be looking at cybersecurity, data analytics, or perhaps it's going to be AI and machine learning? Each of these areas are going to represent distinct niches and with their own set of potential clients and specific needs. If we're going to focus on tech and we've decided to sort of niche down within cybersecurity, within that tech industry, our ideal clients there could be financial institutions. They could also be healthcare providers. They could also even be retail businesses that need protective measures for sensitive data. You could narrow, and I would encourage you to narrow your focus as much as possible. The more you tailor your services and your marketing efforts to meet the unique needs of those clients, the more effective your approach is going to be. Now, let's consider the other big broad stroke that I hear all the time, which is healthcare. Now, this industry is also so vast and so varied. You could choose to specialize, for example, in telemedicine solutions. By and large, when we think of healthcare, we're thinking of hospital staffing. You could also think of something like medical device sales. Or let's say that you had sort of, as I mentioned before with tech, you wanted to have this beautiful synergy of healthcare and IT. Let's say for the sake of example, we decide to focus in on telemedicine. Our ideal clients there might be rural clinics, or they might be hospitals that are looking to expand their services. Or let's say they're going to be mental health providers who need secure, reliable platforms to connect with patients remotely. As we zero in on something like telemedicine, we can start to develop specialized knowledge. With that knowledge, we can develop specialized solutions. And that solution is then going to help us to identify, remedy the specific challenges, and hopefully open up opportunities within that niche. The other big thing that we hear is finance. In finance, the possibilities are equally diverse. We could focus in on fintech startups, wealth management firms, insurance companies, corporate corporate finance departments, et cetera, et cetera. But if we choose fintech startups, for example, our ideal clients would be innovative, fast-growing companies, and they need help with everything from regulatory compliance to scaling their operations. And now we're honing in on fintech, and we're positioning ourselves as an expert in that really dynamic, rapidly evolving field. This is going to be incredibly appealing from a marketing standpoint to our target audience. As we've niched down and hopefully now we have a great target audience, what we want to do next is conduct some market research, and we want to leverage local proximity, doing this market research and allocating real data about our customers. So I like to position for my clients to think about offering your services within your backyard. There's immense value in looking at what's right there in your own backyard and in your neighborhood. Let's think of a time where our computers might all of a sudden be shut down and we don't have use of our phone, we don't have use of our computer, let's say we don't even have use of our car. What opportunities are available locally that can still allow your business to be alive? Think about it. Would you be able to run your business on foot? Can you get on someone's doorstep and offer them your services directly? This local approach can be incredibly impactful. For instance, I want you to imagine telling a potential client, hey, I'm right around the corner from you and we eat at the same pizzeria. I've seen you, for example, at the local mall or the local fair, depending on where you live. Or let's say you say something like, did you hear about what happened on 42nd Street? Wasn't that crazy? There's so much that can be gained by being within the same area or the region or territory as your identified client base. That old adage of shop local holds significant weight, and people love supporting local businesses. And I think that there is just this beautiful sense of community and camaraderie. And if you can capitalize on this with your services and your business, you score huge points right out the gates. Being local not only builds trust, but it also creates, as I said, that level of community and support and engagement. For the most part, our clients at Seven Figure Staffing for this third portion might not have an existing client base. Occasionally, we work with entrepreneurs who do, and we love to analyze that historical data and see where things left off to understand the scope of their business and figure out perhaps why a client relationship may have gone stale. The third activity that I'd love to discuss is going to be creating a wish list of potential clients. Now, how do you create a wish list? If you don't already have one, you're going to start this wish list. You're going to start by looking at the territory around you, taking a look at what's in your neighborhood. And my husband Ryan does a fantastic job in explaining this in some of his videos. And you can use something as simple as Google Maps or a Google search to see what's around you. Creating this wish list of clients you want to start building relationships with, what you're going to do then is you're going to visit the next best thing. You're going to visit their websites. And I don't just mean taking a quick scroll, but I want you to do a thorough examination. I want you to write down, for example, who the key players are, and then take a look at those people's LinkedIn profiles, read their posts, look at their Facebook, see if the company has a YouTube channel, look at any current events or news stories about them. I want you to become genuinely curious about your potential clients. I like to think of it as preparing for a first date. You obviously want to make a great first impression. You want to know their mission statement, their values, community involvement, recent achievements. When you approach them, you'll have some of this information and this knowledge, and that's going to essentially make you more confident. It's going to allow for those interactions to be more meaningful, more impactful, and along with understanding sort of our target audience and doing that due diligence, we also want to understand our competition. This can be just as important as knowing our target audience, and curating that beautiful wish list of companies to partner with is great. We want to take a look at our competitors, who's knocking on their door. This is also a very sort of simple task, but a really important one. You can devise a strategy that even works best for you, but by and large, what I've done in the past is a simple Google search. I want to take a look at the company that I'm interested in. What are the jobs that are open? And I take those jobs, I plop them into a Google search, right away you're going to see Indeed maybe populate at the top of that Google search. And then when you open that up, you're going to see this spread of similar job postings. And then you're going to kind of take a look and peruse those links, and you'll find that not all of them are going to be. Now, you might find that exact company's name within an Indeed job search, but what you're also going to find categorically is similar roles and companies that you'll soon start to identify are not direct companies, but what they are potential staffing agencies that have posted those jobs. For me, this is a gold mine for identifying competitors. And the way to identify it is obviously you go to their website, and then you can kind of see the whole sort of spread of jobs that they have. You can take a look at the areas that they cover, the jobs that they have, that they're filling, their overall strategy. And if you really want to take a next step further, you can call them, you can email them, you can pose as a candidate or an interested company, and you can start to really canvas and yield valuable information. Google is free. It's at our fingertips. It's my best friend for this type of research. I found case studies, I found client reviews, I found pricing information, and so much more. Even a simple email can provide enough data to give you a clear picture of who your competitors are and how they operate. Best example that I can give here is you're in IT and you're sort of targeting fintech companies. You're going to search for fintech jobs, and you can be specific about that job within your city, and you'll find listings from companies and agencies. You're going to click on the listings, and you're going to click on, if you've identified that it is an agency behind it, you're going to click on their website, and you're going to explore it. You're going to gather as much information about their territories, what they cover, their unique approach to recruiting, selling points. So now you start to understand who you're up against, whether it's going to be the large, well-known agencies, the medium-sized firms that are looking to expand their territories. Now, those guys are going to be crucial for us to start to suss out, because you'll know that you're competing with them and your clients are essentially receiving messages from them, and we want to be able to strategize accordingly. A next critical step is going to be identifying decision makers. But in business development, it's going to be crucial to identify the decision makers within your target companies. These are going to be the individuals who have the authority to approve purchases and sign contracts, research the organizational structure of who your target company is going to be, and understand who holds the decision-making power. We're going to be tailoring our approach to these key individuals to increase our chances of success. We can look at LinkedIn profiles, company websites, news articles, identify the key players. They are generally going to fall into the categories of an HR manager, a director of operations, a CEO, a CFO, those types of roles. But knowing who makes the decisions allows us to tailor our pitches directly to the people who can give you the green light. Understand though, sometimes what we want to do is target the people who are within operations, but they're going to have more boots on the ground because they understand where the gaps are within hiring. And they're the ones that if we can secure their interest in our services, they're going to vouch for us, or at the very least, they're going to sort of break the ice and give us a warm introduction to those C-suite decision-making key players. Identifying decision makers goes beyond the top-level executives. Sometimes the end users of our service, those that are on the ground level truly, and those ones that are experiencing the pain points that our service can alleviate, those individuals are crucial because they can advocate for our solution to the higher ups. Taking the time to identify who the end user of our service can pay huge dividends. They're in a position to give us that nod of approval right out the gate. They can either vouch for us to the decision makers or open up that door for us to have that crucial first step. This ensures that our marketing dollars are used in the most effective way. Now, if you're thinking it's beneficial to start with the head of HR, you might be right. And I've done some business development efforts where I will target them. But by and large, the messaging that I'm going to target to them is going to be more specific to their bottom line and some of the sort of organizational issues that they're dealing with, but often it is going to be the ground level manager who feels those pain points more acutely. So by addressing their needs, we position ourselves as a problem solver and more importantly, an ally, making it easier for them to advocate for us within their internal organization. Now, I want us to always be proactive and not reactive. It's essential for us to think about these initial activities. It's really critical for us to be adaptive, to think about anticipating market changes and staying ahead of industry trends and continuously refining our niche. For example, if you notice a growing trend towards remote work solutions in the tech industry, we got to position our services to address this shift. We want to offer tailored solutions that cater to that remote work environment. We want to be proactive. You can capture emerging opportunities and position yourself as a forward-thinking leader in our field to be constantly monitoring industry news. We can join some professional associations. We can network with industry experts. I want you to think of this as a continuous learning process and keeping yourself informed and ready to adapt your strategies to the changing market conditions, because of course, we're here to build long-term relationships. One of the most common questions I get asked is how to structure my workflow as a business development manager. I like to say, build a strong relationship. Keeping in touch with our clients is going to be so key. So what is the strategy? What are the day-to-day tasks? And how regularly can I engage in those activities? This can vary depending on the industry, but a framework that works really, really well. First, let me say that it doesn't take a lot of time to build and maintain these relationships. Even if you have a full-time job, or if you are like me, I'm a stay-at-home mom, you can still make it work. It's not necessarily about the investment of time, but it's just about the quality of your touch points. You want to make sure that you understand the how and the why behind reaching out to people. Each time that you connect with someone, you want to make it memorable. You want to make it an engaging experience. You want to be kind and curious and thoughtful and genuine. It's not about extracting the most value from just that one interaction, but sprinkling in a little bit throughout your day can go a long way. Developing that cadence, that familiarity in our interactions, those are habits and muscles that are going to be trained. It's going to become second nature. It's important to remember that your target audience is something that you are considerate like dating. We're building a long-term relationship. So we want to be open to connecting with them in ways that are going to be fruitful. And of course, if you want a video in discussing sort of more of how I like to do things and the structure of my day, I'd be more than happy to take a deeper dive into that and present that for you guys. So there you have it, my strategies for knowing and identifying your ideal audience, and a little bit of additional business development sprinkled in there. And I hope that when you listen to these tips and you implement them, you'll be well on your way to targeting the right people and driving your business forward. And again, if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to leave your comments and questions below. We love to hear from you. And I have a little present from my beautiful baby. Hi, Hannah. How was golf?
Good.
Okay, guys, I'm off to mom duties, and hopefully we'll see you again. Take care.